Hi there, I'm Dwayne Gleason, Product Manager for Trimble Buildings. Welcome to part 6 of the video series on Document Controller. Today we're really going to get into some of the good stuff and go at one of the toughest parts of any construction project, finding changes. We're going to start by doing that inside of our 2D documents, and we're going to do it in 3 different ways. We'll check out the slider mode, the highlight mode, and my favorite, the overlay mode. We'll also look at how to create a markup for the first time. We'll put some revision clouds on some changes that we found, and we'll start to create some issues for exporting out of Document Controller. Last but not least, we'll look at just one of the many ways that you can use to export information out of Document Controller by printing the full-size markups. Let's get to it. Let's kick it off by opening up the file that we've created in our last few videos and returning to the friendly document register. Open up the drawings folder and let's take a look at just the floor plans. Now you've probably been wondering what these colors mean within the document register. Green means that a document is new, and red means that a document has changed. So here, I've got a revised drawing that came out as part of the 75% release, and I want to compare it to the 35% release. I've chosen Compare Documents, and the documents appear in my window on the right. Here I've got Slider Mode as the default way of comparing 2D documents. The slider can be toggled left to right and top to bottom. Notice that the dialog for each drawing up top allows me to change the color of the individual drawing if I want to. Here, I see a change that I want to mark up and I want to create a report out of it. So I choose the Add Cloud button from the View and Markup tools. I can also choose to add text and give a little bit of a description to this change that I want to communicate. Next, I'll take a look at the 75 to 100% release and see what changed between those two versions. Again, I've got the slider bar, and I can look at each version as I move the bar on either side of the bar. I'll look at the next level, and this time I'm going to use the highlight mode. Using the highlight mode identifies changes between drawing versions in different colors based on user preferences. If you'd like to change the color settings, go here to the Highlight Settings dialog box and notice that you have a drop-down box for each of the desired states. We can change the color for new, deleted, modified, and unchanged. We also have a checkbox that allows us to turn on and off the display. Here, I'm showing only the things that were deleted from drawing to drawing. Here I see the deleted content and the new content. And then I'll turn everything back on to reset my view. Now, I found another change that I want to cloud. So again, I go to the Add Cloud tool from the View and Markup ribbon, and I draw a cloud around the area that I want to document. I go to the View Set selector down here at the bottom, and I can go to my Issue Manager and start to input more information about this clouded area that I want others to know about. I can include a subject, a description, priority. I can even link element types, set the status, the owner, and the location. We'll talk more about this documenting later on in the video series. Next, I want to take a look at my elevation drawings and start to find the changes. Again, I can see that I've got red in the second 2 releases that came out, and so it looks like there was a change in all 3 versions. So I'm going to use overlay mode. In overlay mode, I get to see all 3 drawings on top of each other, kind of like the old light tables. But that's a little difficult for me to see the changes when everything's the same color. So I'm going to go up here in the drawing specific dialog and give each drawing a unique color so that I can start to see the changes from version to version. I can see here that the 35% release of the drawings show the exterior facade with a slanted wall. It looks like sometime during the 100% design release, they removed that wall slant. I probably want my estimators to know about this change so they can update their price accordingly. I can create the issue by choosing to add the cloud from the View and Markup tool, and I'll put a little note so the estimators know exactly what changed very quickly. Again, I can go to the Issue Manager, and I can start to fill out more details that I would want my team to know about this design variance that I've found. All the information that's put here into Issue Manager can later be printed out into a PDF or an Excel report so that even non-users of document control can benefit from the outputs. I could also print the drawings. Up here on the right, I've got the Print Documents dialog, where I can navigate to the 2D drawings that are within my document register, and I can choose which set I want to print from. I can also choose to print a comparison. So in this case, I'm going to print a comparison from the 100% for construction to the 35% conceptual documents. Here's that cloud I've added to highlight the design change that happened between the two documents. So that's it. That's how you get started with doing 2D drawing comparisons. Join us next for 3D models. Well, that's it for part 6 of our video series on Document Controller. I hope you found 2D change analysis as awesome as I did. Remember that we use the slider mode, the highlight mode, and the overlay mode. Also, we created a markup for the first time so that we can begin documenting changes and finding a way to get them out of the system. In this last video, we took a look at just one way by printing the full-size drawing, but stay tuned for later options in the video series where we can also run some reports. And join us in the next video where we'll repeat the same process but using 3D models for the change analysis. Catch you next time.